Someone laughed at you in front of everyone, not a small laugh, a mean one, the kind that makes the whole room go quiet and look at you, waiting to see what you'll do next. And you froze. You smiled and walked away like it was nothing. And that night, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, you played it back 100 times. You thought of the perfect comeback, the one that would have shut them up cold, right there, in front of everyone. But it was too late. The moment was gone, and they got to walk away thinking they won. Here's the part nobody tells you. That wasn't the first time. And if nothing changes, it won't be the last. Because here's a hard truth. When you go quiet after being humiliated, you're not keeping the peace. You're handing someone a key. A key that says, come back in, do it again, I won't stop you. And people who like humiliating others, they collect those keys. They keep a mental list of who hands them over easily. But today, that key gets taken back for good. I'm going to give you 5 responses. Not shouting, not insults, not drama. Just 5 calm, simple moves that flip the whole room around so fast, the person who humiliated you will wish they'd never opened their mouth in the first place. Stick around for the 5th one. It's the one that makes people never try you again. Not once, not ever. And once you hear it, you'll understand exactly why it works better than anything else on this list. Let's get into it. Here's something most people get wrong. They think some people are just cruel, just built that way. Nothing you can do about it. That's just their personality. That's not true. Not even close. Humiliation is a test, every single time, no exceptions. Before someone tries to make you small in front of others, some part of them is checking one thing. Will this person push back, or will they just take it quietly and let it slide? If your history says takes it, they already know the answer before they even open their mouth. They're not gambling. They're not nervous. They're almost certain because you already showed them the answer in every past moment you let slide. I know this because I lived it. For years, I was the person who froze up every single time, not because I was weak, not because I didn't have anything to say. It was because I didn't know what to say that wouldn't make things worse or make me look even more foolish. So I said nothing. I smiled. I let it pass, over and over. And every time I let it pass, I was teaching people something without meaning to. I was saying, this is allowed here. Come back anytime you want, the door is open. Then one day I got sick of it. Genuinely sick of replaying moments in my head at midnight, wishing I had said something different. And I found out something simple that changed everything. The response doesn't need to be a big speech. It doesn't need to be clever or rehearsed. It just needs to land. It just needs to be said like you actually mean it, with your whole chest. That's what these 5 are. Let's start with the first one. 1. Say it back to them, slower. When someone humiliates you in a group, they want one of 2 things from you. They want you to explode, so you look crazy and out of control. Or they want you to shrink, so you look weak and small. Either way, they win, and you lose something in that room. So you give them a third option they weren't ready for. You take their words, and you hand them right back, slower, calmer, with a small smile on your face. Say someone says, in front of everyone, wow, did you actually think that was a good idea? Old you would explain yourself. Old you would apologize for something you didn't even do wrong. Old you would shrink into the floor and wish it was invisible. New you looks at them, pauses just long enough for it to feel heavy in the room, and says, say that again. I want to make sure everyone heard it clearly. Watch what happens next. Suddenly they're the one on the spot, not you. Because cruelty needs speed to survive. It needs to land and vanish before anyone can look at it too closely or think about what was actually said. The second you slow it down and put it back in the spotlight, it stops looking clever. It starts looking mean, plain, and simple. And nobody, absolutely nobody, wants to look mean in front of a whole room of people they know. This works because you didn't defend yourself, and you didn't attack them either. You just refused to let the moment move on before everyone in that room got a good, long look at what they just did to you. Try this smaller version too, for quieter moments. Someone mutters something under their breath, meant to sting, and you simply say, I didn't catch that, can you say it to my face? Same idea. You're not asking to be nice. You're asking because vague cruelty depends on staying vague. 2. Ask the question that traps them. Humiliation almost always hides behind a joke. That's the trick they rely on. If you call it out, they say, relax, it was just a joke, don't be so sensitive. If you don't call it out, it just keeps happening again and again. Either way, in their mind, they think they're safe from any real consequences. Take that safety away completely with one simple question. You look at them, completely calm, and say, wait, was that a joke, or did you actually mean that? That's it. That's the whole move, nothing more needed. Now here's why this destroys them from the inside. If they say, it was a joke, they just admitted out loud, in front of everyone, that it wasn't true, which means they were just being mean for absolutely no reason at all. If they say, I meant it, Now they have to own it, out loud, to your face, with everyone standing right there, watching them do it. There is no good answer waiting for them. Both doors lead to the exact same place. They end up looking small, and you end up looking completely calm and unbothered by the whole thing. You never raised your voice at any point. You never called them a single name. You asked one honest, simple question, and let them dig their own hole, with their own words, in their own voice. That's the beauty of this one. You do nothing at all. They do everything to themselves. 3. Give them the silence they didn't ask for. This one has no words in it at all, and that's exactly why it works so incredibly well on people. When you react, when you get red in the face, or you snap back too fast, or you laugh it off nervously because you don't know what else to do, you are paying them. You're handing over the exact thing they wanted from the start. Proof that they got to you. Proof that their little joke actually landed somewhere real inside you. So don't pay them a single cent. Someone humiliates you in front of a group. You look at them for one long second, not angry, not hurt, just flat and neutral, like they said something slightly boring at best. Then you turn back to whatever you were doing, or whoever you were talking to, like nothing happened at all in that moment. No comeback, no smile, no visible reaction of any kind, nothing given away. The first time, they might try again, thinking they just didn't land it right the first time, same blank look from you. They try a third time, getting more obvious now, still nothing at all. Then they stop trying completely, because there is nothing more useless in the world than a joke that gets zero reaction. A joke needs an audience that flinches to feel like it worked. You just stopped being that audience for good. Here's the catch though, and it matters a lot. This only works if it's real. If you're seething inside while looking calm on the outside, people can usually feel that gap. Real silence comes from a real decision you make. That this person doesn't get access to your feelings today. Full stop. Make that decision for real, and it shows on your face naturally, without you even trying to fake it. 4. Hand them their own words. Some people humiliate you, and then act completely shocked when you're upset about it. It was just a joke, don't be so sensitive about everything. This move takes that excuse away from them before they can even reach for it. Here's how it sounds in real life. Someone makes a joke at your expense, in front of a group of people. You wait a beat, letting it sit. Then you say, calm and clear. That's a strange thing to say about someone you like. Say it plainly, without any heat in your voice. Not as an attack at all, almost like you're genuinely confused, like you're just noticing something odd out loud for the first time. Watch the room shift right in front of you, because now everyone is quietly asking the same question you just asked out loud. If they like you, why would they say something like that? And if they don't actually like you, why are they pretending to be your friend in front of everyone? You didn't call them mean, you didn't call them jealous or insecure. You just held up a mirror and let everyone else look into it alongside you. That's what makes this one so sharp and effective. You're not fighting them directly. You're just describing what happened, out loud, in front of witnesses who saw the same thing you did. Most people crumble the second their own behavior gets described back to them plainly, without any spin on it. Because it's a lot harder to laugh something off when it's sitting right there in the open air, with no joke wrapped around it to hide behind anymore. 5. Name it as a pattern. This is the last one, and it's the one that changes everything for good, permanently. One joke can be an accident. One comment can be a bad moment that happened. But once someone has humiliated you more than once, it stops being an accident entirely. It becomes a pattern. And patterns cannot be laughed off the way single moments can. Here's how you say it. Find a moment. Doesn't need to be in front of anyone else. Just needs to be direct and clear between you two. You say, this isn't the first time you've done this to me. I've noticed it every time, and I need you to know that I've noticed it. Say it slow. Say it calm, with no shake in your voice. No yelling, no raised volume. Just a simple, quiet fact laid out clearly on the table between you. This one lands harder than almost anything else on this entire list, because most people who humiliate others count on you not keeping track of it. They think each moment disappears once it's over, and everyone's moved on. The instant they find out you've been quietly noticing the whole time, keeping score in your head, something shifts in them immediately. They realize they weren't actually getting away with it like they thought. They were just being watched the entire time. You don't need to raise your voice after saying this. You don't need a round 2 or a big dramatic follow-up. You said what you saw, clearly and calmly. Now they know that you see it. And people behave very differently around someone who they know is paying close attention to them. Here's what's actually underneath every single one of these 5 responses. It's not the clever words themselves. Anyone can memorize a line and repeat it back without meaning it. What actually makes these work is the belief sitting quietly behind them. The belief that you don't need to earn basic respect from anyone. That you don't need to prove yourself first, or be liked enough first, or be quiet enough first, before people are allowed to treat you decently as a human being. Most people who get humiliated over and over are not weak people at all. They're kind people, good people. People who were taught somewhere along the way that staying quiet keeps the peace between everyone. But staying quiet doesn't keep the peace. It just moves the target further and further onto your own back. You don't need permission to expect better treatment. Not from the loud kid in your friend group. Not from that coworker who thinks jokes are their whole personality. Not from anyone at all, no matter who they are to you. The moment you stop waiting for permission and start acting like you already have it, everything about how people treat you starts to shift quietly. Your voice changes. The way you hold eye contact changes. The way you carry yourself into a room changes without you forcing it. People feel all of that before you ever say a single word to them. These 5 responses aren't tricks or scripts to memorize word for word. They're just the outside version of something that has to be true on the inside first. Once it's true on the inside, the words almost say themselves when the moment comes. If one of these 5 hit you harder than the rest, tell me which one down in the comments below. I actually read every single one of them myself. And if there's someone in your life who freezes up every time someone tries to make them small in front of others, send them this video right now. It might be exactly what they need to hear today. In the next video, I'm going to show you the one response almost nobody ever uses, the one that works even on people who never back down no matter what. So, if you don't want to miss that one, make sure you're subscribed and ready. Until then, remember this one thing. Every room you walk into is a chance to show people exactly who they're dealing with. Don't waste it, because the version of you that says nothing and the version of you that says exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment are the same person. The only difference is which one you decide to let out the next time someone tries you. Starting today, let it be the second one, every single time, without fail, no matter who is standing in front of you.